Bypass diodes are one of those small hidden components in solar panels that most people never think about. But they play a critical role in keeping your system working when conditions aren't perfect, especially when shading is involved. Without them, even minor shading could drastically reduce your entire panel's output and even cause long-term damage. Understanding how they work requires knowing how solar panels behave when part of them isn't getting the same amount of light. A panel is not one single unit. It's made up of multiple solar cells connected in series inside the panel. These cells work together to produce voltage, and the current flowing through them has to stay consistent across the entire chain. This is where the problem begins when shading occurs. If one section receives less light, it produces less current. Because everything is connected in series, that weaker section can restrict the flow for the entire panel. Without protection, a shaded section doesn't just produce less power, it can actually start acting like a resistance point. These are known as hot spots, and over time they can damage the panel by forcing energy through unevenly. This is where bypass diodes come in. A bypass diode is essentially a safety valve for electricity. Under normal conditions, when all cells receive similar sunlight, the diode does nothing. It stays inactive. But when part of the panel becomes shaded, the diode activates and allows the current to bypass that weaker section. Instead of forcing electricity through a poorly performing section, the system reroutes the flow around it. This prevents the shaded cells from dragging down the entire panel and reduces the risk of overheating. Most modern solar panels are divided into multiple sections, each protected by its own bypass diode. If one section is shaded, only that part is bypassed, while the other two sections continue producing power. However, bypass diodes are not a perfect solution. They don't eliminate the effects of shading entirely. If a large portion of the panel is shaded, the total output can still drop significantly. The diodes simply prevent the situation from becoming much worse by protecting the rest of the panel. Another important thing is that bypass diodes work at the panel level, not the system level. If one panel in a series string is heavily affected, it can still reduce the performance of the entire string. This is why system design, series versus parallel wiring, and shading avoidance still matters so much. There's also a difference between bypass diodes and advanced technologies like power optimizers or microinverters. Optimizers and microinverters actively manage each panel's output, but they come with added complexity and cost. Bypass diodes are the baseline protection, simple, passive, and built-in. In real off-grid use, the biggest benefit is system resilience. They allow panels to work even when conditions aren't ideal. Without them, small issues like dirt buildup could cause disproportionately large drops in output. With them, the system degrades more gracefully instead of failing sharply. It's also worth noting that bypass diodes can fail over time, although it's not extremely common. If a diode stops working, you might notice a panel underperforming more than expected under partial shading. The key takeaway is that bypass diodes are not something you manage directly, but something you benefit from constantly. They work automatically, silently protecting your system and improving performance whenever conditions are less than ideal. Instead of letting one weak section reduce everything, they allow your solar panel to adapt and keep producing power. If you want more deep, real-world solar explanations like this, make sure to subscribe to Off-Grid Life Tech for more videos.